for sports. This segment is called Locker Room 981. And guess who we have here? Tega. Good morning, Tega.
Good morning. Good morning,
Welcome.
everybody.
See how people have harassed Naomi now. She has come up to clarify her statements and she has resigned. She has stepped out of Roland Garros. Are you happy now?
Oh, if she's happy, I'm happy.
Oh, okay. But did you see that part where she said thank you to the press? Like the fact that she said without you, like she gave you your
Okay.
accolades. She
So
told
I
you
have
that
my
she
my
respect.
I
Okay,
have the full statement here. When we get to that story,
we'll
we'll
cross
talk
that bridge.
about it.
No problem.
But let's tell other people how they can join.
Yes, please send your messages. Send your messages through WhatsApp. WhatsApp number is 0809 444 0981. 0809 0981. On Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. The hashtag is LockerRoom981. On YouTube, we're streaming live. So go type search box. In the search box, type Smooth981FM or Smooth FM Lagos and subscribe, please. The Watford centre-back, William Troost Ekong, and Leicester City forward, Kelechi Iheanacho, have arrived at the Nigerian national team camp for their international friendly against Cameroon. Stoke City midfielder, Ogenekaro Etebo, John Noble, Amayo Iwala, Marcus Abraham, Shehu Abdullahi are among the 7 players already in the camp. The Super Eagles will take on the Indomitable Lions in a double-header at the Stadion Vena Nostad, with the first fixture that's scheduled for this Friday, while the second game will be played on the 8th of June.
Yes. So, huge one for the Super Eagles. There were already stories about some people not showing up. That the Super Eagles were not happy. So reports came out that the Super Eagles and the coaching staff were owed bonuses and salaries.
Whew.
So yes, it's 2021.
Again.
But the news is still the same. So of course there was talks about disgruntlement in camp, some people saying they may not be able to come, all the drama that went on with it. But at the end of the day, it's good to see that some people have turned up. So we can see the team in action against the Indomitable Lions this Friday. And yes, it will be on that network that all of us have in our house. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Let them pay money if they want us to mention their names.
Please.
Yeah, but it's going to be on TV.
Okay.
So you can watch it now. It's not like the AFCON qualifiers that we had to struggle. We're looking for it. And we hope CAF does something before the AFCON actually starts. But yes. So we can watch these matches on that on TV. And so you'll get to see the Super Eagles in full HD how they're preparing, for their World Cup qualifiers. But let's see how it goes.
Yes, let's. It took 5 games, guys. 5. Perhaps one longer than some expected, but the Brooklyn Nets were able to advance past the Boston Celtics to move up to the Eastern Conference semifinals, to the Eastern Conference semifinals with a 123 to 109 victory in Game 5. The Celtics would have been overmatched in the series at full strength, but they were far from that. If not for a monster 50-point performance from Jason Tatum in Game 3, the series very likely would have been a sweep.
Yes, I mean, think about it. So let's look at the Brooklyn Nets starting 5. It's KD, it's Kyrie Irving, it's James Harden, it's Blake Griffin. And yes, I know some people have forgotten Blake Griffin is such a beast mode player, but he is. And so that's 4 of the 5 starting 5 for Brooklyn Nets. It's more than all the stars that Celtics have in their entire squad. So it was a tough one already. It was a tough ask for the Celtics. But what made the Celtics situation even worse is that they lost one of their key players, Jaylen Brown, before the series started. And then during the series, they lost Kemba Walker to an injury for the last 2 games. So it's almost as if they were literally waiting for Jason Tatum to pull a miracle. And as good as Jason is, one-on-one with KD, he's no match. Then you add James Harden, you had Kyrie Irving, and yeah, you have Blake Griffin. It was a big down. So this was clearly already overwhelming for the Celtics. But the fact that they could even get 1 game in, which was the Game 3, was good for them. But here is the problem. The Celtics last season had a good playoffs. And all we said is that they needed 1 or 2 more players and they'll become a real championship contender. and the front office did nothing.
Hmm.
And so that's where the problem is. Are they going to be able to do business to build that team into something that Jason Tatum can actually push to win? We don't know. But what it is that they're out of this of the playoffs now, and the Brooklyn Nets set up to face Milwaukee Bucks. So yes, this is the matchup we want to see. So we'll see exactly how Giannis Antetokounmpo will come up in this game, because like I said, in the first round, I didn't really see him. It was really about Chris Middleton. It was about Drew Holiday. Yes, Giannis Antetokounmpo did his part, but I didn't see his game in full view. So I think this is one of this series will test his mettle, and this is where we get to see him. On the other hand, though, the Lakers lost to the Phoenix Suns early hours of this morning, and they were without AD. So I remember. So Anthony Davis, of course, I told you about the injury he picked up in Game 4.
Yes.
And he couldn't play Game 5. But in the press conference, and I mentioned press conference with glee, in the press conference, LeBron was actually asked how he was going to, whether AD was going to be back and how they're going to perform. He said that even if AD doesn't come back, that that's why he has broad shoulders. He will carry the Lakers. First quarter, the first play of the game, Lakers won the jump off. He gave the assist. After that,
yes,
we did not see James, not to talk of his shoulder. We did not see him at all. I mean, by the time the Lakers scored 10 points, you could already tell that the Suns were warming up and they started getting back into the game. From then on, it was a blaze. Think about it. In the second quarter, the Lakers scored only 10 points. All through the quarter. It's not all through the quarter, 10 points. Suns scored 32.
Wow.
The Lakers lost the first half by a whole 30 points. It was 66-36 after the first half. The game was won.
LeBron's shoulders.
We didn't see the shoulder.
He lost it during the match.
The shoulder proved not to be large enough. And so there are questions about AD not playing in Game 6. And without AD playing in Game 6, we are afraid that there will be a repeat performance. Because this shoulder has proven not to work. So at the end of the day, it's a really tough one for the Lakers without Anthony Davis. Like I said, the two games that the Lakers won in this series, Anthony Davis scored above 30 points per game. Wow. And so not having those 30 points per game, and still having to come up against a Devin Booker that is giving the playoffs of his life, it's a really tough ask. But hey, the Lakers were already living on borrowed time. Remember how they came into this? They had to do the play-ins before they got here. So not really at their best this season. And LeBron is not getting any younger.
Exactly. Each time I look at him, I watch him on his press conferences, his videos and all that. He's not looking younger.
Yeah, you watch his press conferences.
Yeah.
Okay.
Djokovic kicked off his campaign for a 19th Grand Slam title with a 6-2, 6-4, 6-2 win over tennis Sangrian inside an empty stadium. Rafael Nadal, the 13-time champion and chasing a record-setting 21st major, defeated Alexei Popyrin of Australia 6-3, 6-2, 7-6, 7-3. The Spaniard now has 101 wins against just 2 losses at the tournament. Ironically, a Roland Garros press conference led to the injury and forced withdrawal of 2-time Wimbledon champion Petra Kvitova, who pulled out after hurting her ankle after finishing her media commitments.
Yes.
Wow.
See how press conference is getting important.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You know, it had no importance before. Or if we're saying it's not important,
it's
now it's trending.
Now.
But really huge one for Rafa Nadal yesterday. I don't think Alexander Popyrin, when he saw the draws, he thought he was going to go to the next round. I think the reason, if you watch the match, while he was frustrated with himself, was that he thought he could put up a better fight. And he seemed to be making a lot of mistakes, schoolboy errors. I don't know if it was the nerves or he was overthinking or over strategizing, but he was just making silly mistakes. And so I think that's why he was kicking himself. But I mean, think about it. When you see your name up against Rafa Nadal, who's won the tournament 13 times, who hasn't dropped a set since 2019 final? And he won in 2020.
How can you compete against that kind of person?
Where do you want to start? So I think he kind of knew that he may be out of round 1, but he just wanted to really push and test and see whether he was ready for really the big stage. So that was a given. Rafa Nadal won that in straight sets. Djokovic also, I mean, beat Tennis Sanguine very easily as usual. It was business as usual on the men's side. On the women's side, though, give it to her. Won her match, got into the press conference, twisted her ankle, and is out of the tournament. So now this seed went out of the tournament because she was injured. It's just frustrating. Yes. And with all the names that are falling in the women's tournament, it's a really tough one. But hey, what can we say? There's still the Serena Williams there. She's playing today. Yeah. Ashley Barty is also still available, but Ashley Barty is not 100%. If you watch her match yesterday, you would have seen her limping. She already came into the tournament with a thigh injury. And it showed in her movement yesterday, which is why she struggled to finish off that match quickly. So we don't know how far her body can take her in this tournament. So really tough ones with all the tough seeds going. But what it does is that it opens up the space. So now let's get to your girl. Naomi Osaka has withdrawn from the tournament, and
after making a clearer statement.
Yes, after making a clearer statement, and this one was well advised. That one was poorly done, but this one was clearly handled by, helped by a professional. Because this is how the statement goes. Where's my glasses? So
can I read it then?
Yeah, read it, please. Yes, I can't see.
Now, she said, this isn't a situation I ever imagined or intended when I posted a few days. I think now the best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well-being is that I withdraw so that everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. I never wanted to be a distraction, and I accept my timing was not ideal and my message could have been clearer. More importantly, I would never trivialize mental health or use the term lightly. The truth is, I've suffered long bouts of depression since the US Open in 2018, and I've had a really hard time coping with that. Anyone that knows me knows I'm introverted, and anyone that has seen me at tournaments will notice that I'm often wearing headphones, as that helps dull my social anxiety. Though the tennis press has always been kind to me, and I want to apologize to all the cool journalists who I may have hurt, including Tiger. I'm not a natural public speaker, and I get huge waves of anxiety before I speak to the world's media. I get really nervous and find it stressful to always try to engage and give you the best answers I can. So here in Paris, I was already feeling vulnerable and anxious. So I thought it was better to exercise self-care and skip the press conferences. I announced it preemptively because I do feel that the rules are quite outdated in parts, and I wanted to highlight that. I wrote privately to the tournament apologizing and saying that I would be more than happy to speak with them after the tournament, as the slams are intense. I'm going to take some time away from the court now, but when the time is right, I really want to work with the tour to discuss ways we can make things better for the players, press, and fans.
And that, at the end of the day, was a perfectly written statement. Now, are there still some things that you will suspect that are questionable? You can suspect all you want, but this covered everything.
It's complete.
Do you understand? Which is what she should have done with the first one. And her sister's statement didn't even make it any better. When her sister came out to post on Reddit to say, oh, that people have been telling her that she plays badly on clay court, and she started to believe it. Yeah. So she doesn't want to hear that.
That's in like a one-sided.
Yeah, it's
like a selfish.
Yeah, it started making it even more. And then after she posted it, she now deleted it later. But you know how people are.
You remember how the first sentiment you expressed that she's sounding spoiled.
Yes, that's that. What are you saying?
She was taking attention away from the other people who are performing at the
Let me tell you a secret. I take Anojafe. Before I come on this show, I've been working here since 2012. I'm also anxious about making mistakes.
Don't we all? Every day.
Think about. I actually think when I'm coming on air, when I'm picking the stories, I'm bragging downstairs. When I'm about to go on air, Tiga, have you checked your?
Same thing happens to me before freshly pressed.
Public speaking.
Yes.
People think I'm very outspoken. I'm very. When it gets to public speaking, I also have anxiety.
I know the surprising thing. Most people who hear us on radio don't know that.
Don't know that we have all these things.
I personally am an introvert.
Yeah, I'm not saying exactly. Valleys.
So you see that.
So it's an issue people that do a lot of public speaking have to face. I'm not saying that we all have mental healthcare issues we need to sort out. I'm just saying that some people have more than others, and they may need more help than others.
Yeah, but we do.
So this statement has the way it was put. I think if she had put it like this at the start, we wouldn't have had all these gist to say. And especially when she says, I feel that there's some parts of the rules that are outdated, and I wanted to highlight that. You can highlight that without being dramatic. You can. So I think she's done what is best for her. Take some time off the court, get herself together, talk to the tournament, because all 4 slams were involved in this. And then, I mean, the situation will be resolved for everybody. That's it.
Sounds good. Words are powerful, so let's use them wisely. We'll be back after this break.
Oh, thank God I finished that. Because I know they talk.
Managed it well.
So when we come back, we're going to talk about, we're going to open the phone lines for the England team.
Okay.
Because the England team, they're taking a lot of... So like I said, the England coach has no cojones, because he didn't want to drop some players, so he has overcompensated by taking 4 players in one position. Dun, 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 dun. And I knew the day when he was saying, I think Trent Arnold can play midfield, I knew this guy was going to carry that boy, that there was no way he was going to drop him. So so we'll open the phone lines and talk about that.
Well, is it going to hurt him, that decision?
We don't know. So what it is that he may set up more defensively. He took some good attack-minded players. He took Harry Kane, Jack Grealish. Harry Kane, Jack Grealish. He took Bukayo Saka in front, which is great because Bukayo Saka does very well for Arsenal. But I don't know if England's setup will work for a Bukayo Saka, because his strength is actually running behind the defense or running at the defense. But if they are set up rigidly, they won't literally be running at anything. They won't be playing the ball in front of him. They'll be playing the ball in front of Harry Kane, because that's the Arsenal striker. So I don't know what this lineup is going to be.
So it's a tactical decision.
Yeah, it's going to be a really boring England match. A couple of boring. So that's my opinion. So you know what to do.
Yep. 0144899881. Know the number first so that you can call before those listeners.
Tell them to always watch on YouTube.
I'm telling you, the proper gist is on YouTube.
You guys are missing. For those of you that are watching,
well done.
Well done. Yes, I don't have good eyesight. Don't mind Val. So this is how, if I have to read, this is how I read it, and it's not good. I mean, it's not right.
Long sighted.
So I don't play. This is a situation.
We're back. Excuse me.
My name is Olive Emody, MC and all things media, and you're listening to the Smooth.
That's right, Olive. Thank you so much. 27 minutes before 9 o'clock. You're back on the show. You didn't leave, so glad to have you here with us. This is the Locker Room 91 and Smooth Breakfast. It's about sports, and Tega Supreme is here. Hi, Tega.
Hiya.
Randolph said, yup, I stayed back at the car park to listen to this show. I'll get into the office when I'm done. Guess what? I'm not ashamed of myself. Good morning, guys. We love that, Randolph. Thank you so much. Ken Wachubu says, can you please ask... No, it's not for us, please. Ronson says, it seems without AD, the Phoenix Suns will romp this Lakers side. Perhaps CP3 does not have to complain about Scott Foster again.
Bio, before he was blaming the referee now. Now that they're winning, he's okay.
I'm rooting for Nets or Jazz, not neglecting the box, albeit cause of the Greek freak.
Yeah.
Shay says, Valentine Kekwano Tega, we cover all. They said Osaka was too dramatic, Sha. She needs the rest. Tega, please, how much is the bride price on top Lukaku's head? We need him in Chelsea. Valentine, one guy who's a Chelsea fan and his landlord, Man City fan, because he shouted the derogatory loud goal that Havertz scored. As we speak, his loads are outside in the rain. Oh my goodness. Bash from Yaba says, Tega, please, who has lost out now? Is it not the French Open who has lost their #1 seed? There is life outside tennis or any sports. As I've said, you journalists are the problem with sports because of how you put unnecessary pressure on athletes. I'm happy for her. Let her live her life, I beg you.
Bash, if I complain now, because you see, you just came at me. And if I complain now, you not say I'm doing anyhow. Well, at the end of the day, first thing, Naomi Osaka is not their #1 ranked player. That's Ashley Barty. Which is why I'm saying she's been getting favorable press from the media. And she mentioned it here, so you heard her statement. At least we were good to her.
Been kind to her.
Ashley Barty is actually the #1 ranked tennis player, not Naomi Osaka. The French Open didn't lose.
It's clear. Naomi Osaka is good too.
We and the French Open didn't lose. There are many fantastic women still at the French Open, including the defending champion Iga Swiatek, who just turned 20 on her birthday and then beat her best friend for good measure on her birthday. After the best friend came to give her a birthday hug.
Oh,
6 love, first set.
for good measure.
I don't like that friendship. So let's go to the story that we need your input.
Yes,
England has released their team list.
All right.
Now, because they released their team list and a lot of defenders in one position, we want you to, if you can, call us and talk to us about what you think the England team will do at the Euros starting on the 11th of June. Because the team list that they chose, well, God will help us.
Yep. Let us know. According to that, the number to call is 0144899981. 0144899981. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, Kylian Trippier, Kyle Walker, they've all been included in Gareth Southgate's 26-man England squad for the upcoming European Championships. Mason Greenwood, Ben Godfrey, Jesse Lingard, Aaron Ramsdale, James Ward-Prowse, Ollie Watkins, Ben White. They've all missed out of the final list, having originally made the 3-man professional squad named by Southgate last week.
Yes, so the reason why I am asking this question is those names that were mentioned, Alexander Trent-Arnold, Reece James, Kylian Trippier, and Kyle Walker all play the same position. So this guy took 4 guys in one position. As if that is to make matters worse, Harry Maguire and Jordan Henderson, who, well, were still carrying injuries as at the end of the season, and it has not been confirmed how fully fit they were. They are on the list. They are going to the Euros.
Okay. There's a strategy, I guess.
There's a strategy. So here is the list. So I've mentioned Trent Arnold. I've mentioned Ben Chilwell, Cody of Wolves, Connor Cody of Wolves, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kylian Trippier, Kyle Walker. So, well, I think he's going to put one person in the other to replace somebody else. But yes, about 10 defenders. Then in the midfield, he has Bellingham of Borussia Dortmund. He has Jordan Henderson. He has Mason Mount. He has Calvin Phillips, who was also carrying an injury at the end of the season for Leeds United, but somehow made the England squad. And then there's Declan Rice. So very light midfield players, very heavy defensively. And then going forward, he has Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka. Yes, Bukayo Saka made the list. And Tomori and Tammy Abraham didn't. Let me not laugh. Jadon Sancho and Raheem Sterling made the list. No Jamie Vardy, no Ollie Watkins. Regardless of the great season that Ollie Watkins has had, no Ward-Prowse. So for me, those were the surprise exclusions. So if you can, let's take your phone calls now and hear what you think about the England squad.
0144899981. We seem to have a call coming through now. Let's answer. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Good morning. Oh, where me from Ikeja? Yes, go on.
Yep, I agree. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm. Okay. Wow. But they've said semis, if they don't go past the semis, then they failed. Ah. Ah, Okwe has spoken.
Okay. All right. Okpemi, thank you so much for your call. We
Okay.
appreciate those
So
comments.
people say Reece James can also play as a midfielder.
Midfielder, yeah,
He can step in for Jordan. So why would you? Why do you take
Martial.
somebody that can play as a midfielder as opposed to carrying a midfielder?
I know, right?
You want to turn to Pep Guardiola? You didn't see him at the
Well,
Champions
you
League
know
final.
what they say when talents, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work out. So it's possible that could be the reason. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. What's your name? Bingpe,
Bigbe.
welcome. Please turn us off on the other side and talk to us on the phone. All right.
That's the Huddersfield. Yeah.
Exactly. Even practice hours, but we know that some footballers can be versatile. Mm. Bingbe,
Okay.
thank you.
Bigbe, thank you.
We appreciate you, Bingbe. Thank you so much for your call. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the Locker Room 981. What's your name? Thank you for joining us. What's your name? All right, you're on. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. All right. Mm. Okay. Thank you, Buko. Well, I appreciate your call. Thank you so much. Drive safe, okay? It's 8:43 now. Carlo Ancelotti has rejoined Real Madrid as coach for the next 3 seasons. The Spanish club announced this on Tuesday, actually.
Yes, so today is the day they are going to give him his contract officially. But yes, Ancelotti is going back to Real Madrid, and that's where they went to. I don't think Fiorentino Perez is happy to pick any of these new upcoming managers. It's not about that business.
After Zidane.
So
After what Zidane
exactly.
did.
So he went back to somebody he trusts. I don't know
Yes.
how. I mean, with some of the players, they'll be happy to have him back, but I don't know how that would affect results. Whether it will change for the reason why he was fired in the first place. But let's see if he will do better in his second coming around. And also up good news for Copa America. Brazil has decided to host. Now here's why it is tricky, because Argentina refused to host because of the rise in cases of COVID-19, and Brazil has the second highest death toll from COVID-19.
How's that going to work?
So I mean, there's some cities, 6 cities in Brazil have already said we are not going to host.
Yes.
But there are some cities that are saying, let's host the football tournament. We'll have it without the crowd. But let's see how that works out.
Come,
Yeah.
we want that money. That's really what I hear, not host on tournament. Jimmy Victor from Alaba International says, good morning, guys. Please, how a realistic coach who wants to win a trophy drop Jamie Vardy, Jesse Lingard, and choose to go with Raheem Sterling, who has not been playing table tennis since January, or who has been playing table tennis since January, while for Real Madrid, they don't know what they're doing. Idowu Martins, or rather I say Idowu Martins, Idowu from First Thing says, please, is Tammy Abraham there?
No, he's not.
He said, if not, of course, he's been I lied. Lola Honed. Then England will phase you out. Nigeria was a better option. But no, thank you. Roundup says, I do not see how Rashford, Maguire, Sterling can make this list when we have players like Watkins and Greenwood.
Well, Greenwood picked up an injury in the last week, so that's why he's out, yes.
So it's clear that the England and national team is filled with favoritism. It's the group stage exit for me. The humiliation will be televised.
Yeah.
So we wait. Ozofo actually says, hey, Tammy Abrahams. Emo says from Ikeja, Tega, that's your pick with that tall guy is adorably hilarious.
Oh, Boban. Boban is an NBA player. He's 7'1".
What?
Yes.
How did you stand beside him? You have such
I
courage.
stood on his waist.
My goodness.
Right.
So I think England is set up to fill with brilliant players. I feel sorry for Gareth though. He has a large number, if great players, but a large number of great players, but his ability to make strong and decisive selections is what will make him stand out. I'm not optimistic about his selections at all. Imo, thank you for that. Tunde, wow. Based on top form, methinks Watkins and or Bamford deserves a place ahead of Rashford and Sterling. Barty retired a long time ago. The coach will probably play a 3-4-3, so Kylie Walker can play as a third CB alongside Harry Maguire and John Stones. So Trippier, James, and Trent can hustle for the RWB, though the selection is still questionable. Go, Portugal. Thank you, Nonisha, Ichimobi, Sheriff Oluwaleke Akimbi, Fred Polo. Thank you for your messages. For lack of time, we can't take it. And Larry from abroad, thank you for your message as well. Tega, thank you so much. You can always interact with her with the hashtag LockerRoom981. Tweet at Tega Supreme or follow the work she's doing with ladies in sport at LIS International. It's 8:47, 13 minutes. I'll be joined by Wale Olusi, who's the head investment research at United Capital, and Tomi Balogun, founder and CEO of Vestract, a financial education and technology company. We'll be speaking on taking an urgent look into the economic future of Nigeria amidst harsh realities. Speak with us then.
Every